me the supplies I've gathered here. You could add anything else you like chalk ink on your paper, watercolor pencils or watercoloring, markers, washi tape, stickers, whatever works for you. But basically you're going to need, and I'm just going to shift some things, show you some things you're definitely going to need. Some kind of binder. Now you could do a 3-ring binder, which I'm going to show you in today. This is my personal journal that I've linked below, and I'm also going to tab it up. And you see, I just started writing, but then I've done more research and thoughts about prayer journaling and decided I am going to create some tabs. So we'll do tabs in here, and I'll show you those. Then you have, of course, you're going to need tabs. These are linked below. They are both sided, so you can write on both sides. I will use a permanent marker for that. I have, if you would like, you could go over to my site and pick up a journaling template, or you could just get some paper, whatever you have. And then also, if you would like, I have included a link to sign up and get a freebie checklist of all these things I'm mentioning so you can set up your own journal. All right, so let's get started. Oh, I forgot to mention my cup of pens, pencils, and I have one marker, but my pens and pencils I consistently use. I love flare tips. I'll link them below. Those are my favorite pens in all the world. And I also have a bunch of other colors and markers. As you can see, I have more and then more pens. So I have all kind of pens to choose from. The one in this cup are the ones that I use consistently. The thing I want you to remember before we ever get started, one, this just has to be somewhere to write. It doesn't have to be fancy. You put and use what you have. These are all supplies I have. The only thing I ordered were the tabs. The other things I've created for you and for me, and so I wanted to share those with you. All right, so again, all linked below if you should need it. So let's start in what most people may have, which is a notebook. I've had this notebook for several years, just sitting on the shelf waiting for a purpose, and I now have a purpose for it. So in this particular notebook, it did come with some labels. I'm just going to leave them in case I ever want to use them again. And then I have 5 tabs, which work perfectly for the sections that I want to include. If you're technology oriented, by all means, print out your tabs, stick them on. If you prefer just simple ones, use what comes with your notebook. A lot of binders now come with tabs and stickers or labels for your tabs. I'm going to use, I think what I'll do is I'll use these in my journal like this and show you that. But on this, I think I'm just going to use the stickers that came with it. No need to add anything else. They're beautifully colored. I really like them, so let me take them out. And again, I just have my checklist sitting right over here so I know what I want to include. There are many different ways you can set up the tabs for your binder. There are different ways or things we all want to pray for. And this is just a general way to do it. You can do it whichever way fits your life. So I need a pen though. These are slick, so I need a pen that's going to dry quick. Oh, let me use the Sharpie. Sharpie S-Gels I really like too. So let me use that. All right, so what tabs that I need? I have 5 mentioned in this setup journal checklist, and you write however you want. I'm going to go through. I will speed the video up so you don't have to watch me just write, and I'll get those written now. All right, so as those dry, let me just walk through the 5 tabs I've decided on. There, again, maybe other things you want. My family, church, the nation, people, and life. And people is kind of general, like maybe it's a friend or a missionary or a group at church going somewhere. And that also could fit in life, like events. Maybe it's people who are sick, or maybe it's just an acquaintance you have. Life, same thing. Daily needs, helps, ongoing events, people going, traveling, whatever it may be. We all have different life events that would benefit from some prayer. So the first thing I'm going to do is just take my tabs and stick them on. All right, so you see I've just put them on the tab dividers, and now I would just need to print out, make copies, whichever you prefer. your template for your prayer journaling. And in my template, it's very, very simple. Your date, your verse that you want to read, your write that verse out, reflect, and I do have a prayer journaling course where I guide you through all these things and give you some reflection questions. So if that would be beneficial to you, it is below. And then I would write out my prayer and simply hole punch it, put it in the binder, make your copies, put it in the binder, and go that route. If you don't want to get the freebie or you don't want to print it out or can't, grab a pack of notebook paper. I don't have notebook paper, but I have this legal pad that just keeps sitting around my house. And just take your pages out of your notebook paper or your legal pad or whatever you have. They don't have to be beautiful. I'm sure that's going to rip when I try to get it off. You can see I have not the best ripping skills. Not perfect, but good enough. If they're not hole punched, grab a hole punch. And then just put them in your binder. Put a few pages in each section. I'm not going to fill it all up, but you get the idea of what to do. Put your dividers back in, and you have your prayer journal ready to make your first entry. Again, you just have some general things you want to do in a prayer journal, and prayer journals are great ways to deepen your connection and walk with God. It also lets you go back and remember, what did I pray for? Have I heard from God about this? Was that answered? So there's also something I would add in the back. And in my prayer journaling course, I have this reminder as well as a document that shows you how to reflect on your answered prayers. So I'd probably add that back here as well. I could add another divider, or I could just put it in the pocket to go back and remind myself to look at answered prayers. And then when I'm writing, pick your favorite color, write in pencil, whatever is good to you, and actually just get started journaling. The other idea that I have or am probably going to use is this journal. I love this journal. The leather on this, one of the reasons I like this is the leather on this is reclaimed leather from the industry. This is a great company. It's linked below. This is the journal I'm using right now. So what do I need to do for this journal? It's no different, but I needed to use a different kind of tab. So this is a grayish tab and this is a white tab. They are two-sided so you can wrap it around the page. The only thing about this, of course, is you're going to decide how many pages to include in each tab. I am not going to be particularly weird about overthinking it. I'm just going to kind of, divide it into fifths because I need 5 tabs, and I will place them in this journal. So when you're using this particular tab, and there's many on Amazon you can pick from, remember that bend right there is what's going to go around your page. So this part is a little large and will hang over, but you'll probably have to go 5 down. And I would not get too overwhelmed with the spacing. You just do your best. So I'm going to try it 2 ways. The first way, I'm going to go and put the tab on and write, and then the other I'll write and put the tab on. Let's see which one I think works better. Okay, so I don't like how that sits so flat on the page that I can't find what I'm looking for, and I do have enough room in this journal to hang that over. I'm not going to, well, here I say I'm not going to, but I'm going to see if it's removable. Carefully, I'm going to remove this, and then I'm going to do what I was thinking to start with. So that is removable, probably one good remove, and that's it. The paper did pull off a tiny bit. So I'm going to take it, and where the curve is where I'm going to line it up with my page. So it will hang off the page. And then I'm going to bend my tab back, and I'm going to lay it on the other page so I can make sure. And then I'm going to do that, and your tab now hangs off. That's how I would do it. I don't like it flat against. I would not write on the tab until you've got them placed, because you can see I've already smeared it because I didn't wait long enough for my pen to dry. So I am going to finish up my tabs, and I've decided I'm going to have 6 parts. I'm going to do the 5, family, church, nation, people, life. And in the sixth, I'm going to leave some room for just days when I just want to write my prayer or reflect and not really be, it maybe doesn't fit a particular thing, like your family, which I include myself in family. Maybe it's not about your church. So you can split them up how you want the thickness of what you think. So family is probably going to be a little larger for me than church, nation, people, and life. And then in the back, I'll have a little bit more where I'm doing my blank, where it's just my general. I don't know how else to label that, but I'll just call it general. All right, so those are pretty good. Those are the five. And then I'm going to make a sixth one. It is going to sit under this one a little bit. That doesn't bother me. I probably could have squashed this one up a little bit more, and space them out evenly. If that bothers you, get the ruler, measure them. But for me, I'm not that worried about it. Okay, so found a little issue here. You can see I actually grabbed a whole bunch of pages and put the whole tab. Thank goodness they are removable. And so I'm gonna gently pull this up. I was thinking about that on the last one and caught myself, but I didn't catch myself on that one. Unpill it and make sure you only have one page in there. And now I have another issue. Here's nation, and then here is one, but I've given myself one page for nation, and I accidentally didn't give myself enough pages. So I'm not gonna overthink it. I could certainly pull these off and move them, which I may after I'm done with this video. We'll see. But just be careful. Don't make this mistake. I only left myself one page for nation. Make sure you're not grasping multiple page in your tab, and make sure then you don't just pick up one page for one tab. On this last tab, I'm just going to put something that reflects you, or general, or however you want to label it, because this is just your space for today. I just want to write. There's not something specific for my family, church, nation, or people. I just want to write. I'm just going to put you kind of broad. All right, so I do need to fix the one with nation. I'm gonna let that dry, and then if it's still sliding, I will take a little bit of alcohol. I will clean off the tab. These tabs do feel like they have like a coating, so I think you probably be okay doing that. And then I will clean them off, or I'll just go over it in a permanent marker when I grab one shortly. So you can see from the side, I now have my tabs that describe the six for me. They're five I did in the other, of who I want to pray for in my prayer journaling. All right, so now that you have it set up, well, what do you do with it? So quickly, just a reminder, if you've printed out the freebie, you just pick a verse, you write your verse, you reflect on that, and you can, do some searches, or get some questions about how to reflect on things. Think about the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, the how questions, and then write out your prayer. If you're doing it on a piece of paper, you follow that same guidance. Something I didn't include, but certainly could in your reflection. Maybe it's not just to reflect about the verse, but today I'm going to write about how I'm thankful, what I'm grateful for. Put it in the reflect part. So don't forget about that piece, always thanking and praying what you're grateful for to God. So you'll see on one of my lists, or one of my prayer days, I just wrote in things that I'm thankful for or grateful for. So that can be a part of your prayer journaling as well. Add in prayer request, names and dates if needed. You could always add a page at the front here of just who it is and who you want to pray for. Or if you've done it like this, you could go to the people section, and on this page, just make it prayer request page. And so I might write that at the top. So let's just do that. So on this page, I know I'm going to reserve it for prayer request. And I'm just going to put the name. I don't have to write a long drawn out request. I can just say this is kind of what in general they need. Not meant to be perfect. Life is messy. God knows that. And so we just want a conversation between us and God. It can be messy. It can be honest. It can be real. And that's what prayer journaling is really about. So then you could add some decoration in if that's your thing. I'm not a big tape, washi tape, sticker kind of person. Occasionally I will add some drawings, but I like to watercolor. This paper is not the best for watercoloring, but I have seen people use chalking to make creatives in it, and I think I'm going to look into that. Again, remember, this is your journal, the time you're spending in prayer. It's not about how it looks. So just do simple, add in your creative spirit, whatever comes to you that day. All right, so that's it. I hope that you just set up your powerful personal prayer journal that you can use each and every day. If you need more guidance on scripture or other things to guide you through a prayer journaling Bible study, I do have a course that will help you get started. It is linked. You can get the prayer printables or the checklist of getting set up, as well as prayer journaling template in the description below. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll comment, like, subscribe, and go over to Facebook. Leave a comment, show a picture of what your prayer journal looks like. Have a great day.